Robert Mueller's team is once again under fire, this time for how it obtained emails from the Trump transition team, which is raising serious legal questions. A lawyer for the Trump transition team is saying the documents were acquired improperly, while Mueller's investigators are claiming they did nothing wrong. Greg Jarrett and Alan Dershowitz are here with their expert legal analysis. And President Trump delivers a major national security speech on putting America first. Former UN Ambassador John Bolton reacts. But first, a high-speed train derailment in the state of Washington. Investigators are on the scene. Joining us now with the latest details is Dan Springer. Dan?
Yeah, Judge Janina, horrible and tragic day here in western Washington as the Washington State Patrol has confirmed 3 fatalities, but the Associated Press is reporting 6, at least 6, and the discrepancy could be that 3 have been pulled from the wreckage, but could be 3 bodies still inside some of those cars that you can see behind me dangling off of a trestle here about 50 miles south of Seattle over I-5. That train derailed at about 7:40 this morning at the height of rush hour traffic. Speed might be a factor. They're definitely going to look at the speed of the train. There are multiple reports that this train was traveling upwards of 80 miles an hour, about a quarter of a mile away from where it went off the tracks. And where it went off the tracks, there is a very sharp curve. So when investigators get here a little bit later tonight, they will be looking at a number of things, but including the speed. There were 77 people on the train and 5 crew members. All 13 of the 14 train parts, the cars and the engines, came off the tracks. Many of them came on the highway down below. 5 cars and 2 semi-trailers were hit by train parts and train pieces as they were coming down off that trestle, and there were injuries but no fatalities among people on the ground. But again, the job right now, they have a lot of heavy machinery here. They're trying to stabilize those rail cars that are still dangling off that trestle to try to short up enough to be able to get inside and retrieve the final victims of this horrible train accident that happened this morning. And again, this was something that this was an inaugural run of this train route from Seattle down to Portland. They had this high-speed rail line, and the whole idea was to shave about 15 minutes off of the run from Seattle to Portland. And there were many people who were upset about this, and they warned about something like this happening. So that'll all be part of the investigation as we look forward. Janine, back to you.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. And this weekend, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team came under fire over how they obtained emails from the Trump transition team. Joining us now live from the White House is Ed Henry. Ed?
Judge, good to see you. Democrats are trying to pour gasoline on this fire by spreading rumors that the president may try to fire Robert Mueller. And the president insists that is not true, though his allies outside the White House are trying to undermine the special counsel's credibility. In fact, a lawyer for the president's transition to power is trying to make the case Mueller himself tainted the probe by obtaining tens of thousands of emails from the time period between the election and the inaugural. Mueller did this not by issuing a subpoena that would be known to the Trump legal team, but instead went directly to the General Services Administration, which helps manage bureaucratic functions, including the transition. Trump for America, Inc. counsel Corey Langhofer declaring that career government workers, potentially hostile to the president, quote, unlawfully produced transition private materials, including privileged communications to the special counsel's office. Peter Carr, a spokesman for the special